In the beginning, there was only darkness. Then light shone in the void, and a new world was born. A realm forged from the elemental forces of earth, wind, water, and fire. The nexus of an eternal war waged between the forces of light and darkness. Between chaos and order, which destroy the world in a mighty cataclysm. Unto this broken realm came the overlords. Beautiful Laina, goddess of the waters. The steadfast purity of crashing waves and thundering waterfalls. Fiery Epothas, warrior of the rising sun. Volatile guardian of the sacred flames. Devious Durlock, master of metals and lord of stone. Keeper of the secrets of the earth. And wicked Helamis, queen of storms and chaos. Mother of hurricanes, leaving havoc and destruction in her wake. Now the mightiest of the overlords prepare for the ultimate confrontation. The time has come for the wrath of the gods to be unleashed.
Hello, this is Water Elemental, and today we are playing Wrath Unleashed. This is a bit of a crustier looking game, and I have an explanation for that, and where I've been in almost a year. So I have been kind of looking for new ways to kind of find interesting games to record and do content on, aside from the stuff that I was doing previously, because I just wasn't happy with how I was doing those Let's Plays. And in that time, I decided to start rebuilding a PlayStation 2 collection and bought a physical PS2. And I was like, well, why don't I combine the two and figure out how to make content with a hard PS2 system, like all the stuff. It was a nightmare. If you're looking to do content on a hardware PS2, I recommend not using current capture cards. It's been a nightmare. We can do a different video if people are interested. Anyways, one of the games that has always stuck with me in terms of this era of content is a game called Wrath Unleashed. And I know, Water Elemental, oh, there's, you know... ooh, I don't want to do that, no. Ooh, elementals, all this stuff. The reason why this game has kind of stuck with me, we're going to do a medium battle, we're going to go against Earth, and we're going to go human versus AI. The reason for it is you can kind of see it's a tactics-based game, but the way it handles content is a little interesting, or combat is a little interesting. I've tried to record this a couple of times. There's been some recording issues. I wasn't happy with the game. We're gonna do Siphon. We haven't done this one yet in my recordings. You'll see that there is difficulty points. I don't want difficulty. Let's do this one. We're gonna start game. I'm gonna try to speed up through loading screens because this is one of the problems of being in a PlayStation 2 game that you can't emulate. As we go on, you'll probably see me do some cuts and stuff. But for now, since I'm actually talking, what is Wrath Unleashed and what do I compare it to? I compare this oddly to a specific game mode in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, which is the chess mode, where you pick your chess pieces and then you can fight for pieces, and based on their tier, they have different like health bars and strengths. So you can kind of see we have a subsect of pieces. We have our early units, which are like our unicorns. Our genies are a little bit higher. We have juggernauts. We have our demigod, which is our king, or in this case, queen. Ogre Magi, which is a little bit stronger, and so on and so forth. what we want to start doing is capturing objectives on the map. We have these temples, which are the win condition. You see that each person starts out with 2. We want to capture enough of these to win the game or defeat the demigod, which I honestly think is a easier objective than capturing these areas. And you can see that some of them have specific tiles to them. We have earth, we got water and wind, fire and earth. If you have your minion type and you go up there and you select it or place it on top, you get a bonus. To start with, I think we should capture... I'm actually thinking we should capture a mana object here. So we're going to go with our centaur and capture a mana pillar.
Player 2.
Mana lets you cast spells from your demigod or your, in this case, Nightmare Adept or my Juggernaut. So you want to start capturing those kind of objectives and building up your strategy. He is sending out a big guy immediately to one of the towers. I think we will be able to also kind of... that's a centaur, that's a little weak. I'm going to kind of echo that by putting our big guy on this end of the map. If he's going to push, I'll start moving my units to that side of the map. But it looks like, yeah, he's kind of moving that stuff forward. We got our genie. I'm going to capture another one of these.
Player 2.
You can kind of see that bar increases based on the amount of objectives you have, and it'll allow you to cast spells depending on the amount of mana you have.
Player 1.
Alright, so let's see. We got our genie, we got another unicorn here. I want to start pushing up this ogre magi and threatening this space. He's earth, so that's fire and wind, fire and earth. It's ethereal. I'm gonna put him in the middle here. And the reason for that is, that way if he does attack, we don't have a certain bonus. Yep, he's gonna get that point, which isn't good. Close to victory.
Player 1.
What did he send over here? That's a centaur on a water temple. I think we could sacrifice a little bit of mana to fight that. So here's where a lot of the load screens come in, because you don't just take the tile. You actually go into a battle arena. And this is what was interesting to me, was it's a fighting game, and we'll say it is very eclectic when it comes to combat. Nay, here's my beautiful water unicorn versus your centaur. Alright, he started out with running into some spikes, which is good for me. Aiming your character is very hard because you do not lock onto your opponent sometimes, and sometimes based on the analog stick, it does change rotation. But you do have 4 moves, usually a ranged, a melee, a couple of charge attacks, and then you have like a block and then a dodge. It's very hard to talk while in combat because you have to learn which unit you're fighting with. You don't have a heads up on what each unit does, and then there's also the fact that there's very hard to read map elements as well. I think when the centaur went right in, you saw that they just decided to get stomped on. Ooh, going after my centaur. Okay. With his Jark unicorn. Oh, and I have advantage. Ooh. It is a bit of a spam fest. Your units do have mana as well with the blue bar underneath, so you can't just spam your ranged.
Player 1 wins.
Each unit or each faction has their own benefits to it. I haven't played long enough to remember what each one does. Mainly I've been playing the water thing for these recordings because, haha, that's who I am. But I remember they have a hard freeze ability. I know the earth has a way to summon like little minions while in combat to kind of really be annoying.
Player 1.
There's some spells that can really tear people up based on the faction too. Let's see if I can cast a spell here to show off what I can do. So we have our Juggernaut, and we have Cast. And we have Summon Elemental, Bind, Teleport, Transform Land, Heal, and Transfer Health. Not useful there. Our Demigod, we have Summon, Wrath, Bind, Resurrect. Resurrect's like probably the one I use the most because it gets a unit back into play. Transform Land, Heal, Transfer Health. Wrath is very potent if the Demigod is up close because it one-shots a lot of units for pretty cheap. I think what I might try to do is, can I teleport this unit? I can, but I can't teleport it there, so I'm going to have to teleport it
Teleport.
up here into this middle area. And a Jin.
Player 2 casts teleport.
So I'm probably going to lose a space, but that's okay. If I can weaken it, I can probably push towards another tower on that side. Or I'm going to get horribly wrecked. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Ah, I should have gone for a charge attack. I almost had this.
Player 2 wins.
But that's what I mean, this game is interesting. You're able, if you're good enough in the combat, and you can get over some of the cheaty mechanics that the AI has, you can really, you can control the tide of combat instead of just being a one-to-one, which I find very fascinating.
Player 1.
What are we looking for at the board here? Iron Golem, Magi. So I'm at 3. So take 4. Let's get some additional. Some turtles and also so to kind of like surround this area.
Player 2. Player 1.
Huh. That is an interesting strategy. We'll see what they're gonna do. I'm gonna capture this one.
Player 1
Force their hand.
close to victory. Player 2. Player 1.
I'm just gonna trade temples then. We're gonna go to one temple
Player
left.
2.
I feel threatened. We're gonna push forward. Okay.
Player 1.
So I'm gonna do a risky move here, and I'm gonna summon Elemental, and I'm gonna engage with.
Summon elemental.
Hey, look, it's me! It's me, a water elemental! I give this elemental design about a 6 out of 10. I mean, it does look like water. It's not, you know, the normal, like, siren, mermaid-looking thing. I don't know. It's not... Just not doing it for me. It looks like a tardigrade to me, with extra steps. Well, let's not attack the giant stone. I'm loving that the AI is standing in stuff. Okay. Ah! Oh god, he's doing that stun lock shit. Stop. Daddy, stop. There we go.
Player 1 wins.
Whew. He had perfect magic skill. I don't think the water elemental stays on the field after it takes a unit, which is fair, but it's still a free unit to kind of weaken
Player
someone.
2.
Ooh, oh, no. They're still pushing left.
Player 1.
That one's the centaur, the dark unicorn. I don't want to engage that iron golem. Do I have it strong nearby in case I have to go back in for a second round?
Player 2.
His demigod's probably going to start coming out. Oh no, the Nightmare Adept. Okay. These are a pain in the fight. But I do have advantage. He's got such, like, square, polygonal feet. It's great. Huh. Yeah, this guy summons little tiny goobers. But his blocking is just so perfect. Hey, turn around and... Turn around. Oh, God. Stop. Stop. Oh. Okay, that's huge. One thing I wanted to bring up while we're in load screen hell is who created this game. Now, I don't know too much about the collective group who developed it, but this is published by a little-known studio called LucasArts, which has created some amazing classics. And it's a wonder how this game kind of came to be, and if it really did stick out or if it just was a huge flop. Because I don't think there's many games like this that has been published by such a huge studio. But then again, back in the early 2000s, this kind of the 3D space and what people wanted to experiment with was different. We didn't have what we're dealing with now, where everything is within the meta of a battle royale, the hero shooter, MOBA was the previous cycle, card game, that kind of stuff. So this was a very good time for experimentation. And I think that's why this game stuck out to me, is because I haven't found anything that really fills the same hole for me. Haha, I got a good freeze off. Oh! I don't know what I just did, but that was freaking sweet. Ow. Ow. Stop. Whoa. Alright, I weakened him enough. This is fun. Yeah, I almost got about the same amount of health from a 1-to-1, plus he had elemental advantage. I didn't really talk about it. I really like, and I think we are able to look at the designs of them later in the kind of one-on-one game mode. I really like the designs of the creatures in this game. They all have their... They remind me a lot of Warhammer and War Machine-esque miniatures. They have a lot of personality. They have readability. I think some of them don't match the faction they're with. I think unicorns could have been some better form of seahorse, but I think probably they're just reusing aspects to kind of use the same skeletal meshes. But things like the spirit armor and stuff are really neat. And again, that stuck with me. They didn't feel like they were just offshoots of different... Come on. Okay, cool. This, I would love to see the win-loss ratio of units at the end of the match. If that, I haven't won. So I can't remember if it actually shows kind of what units you were strength with, what units you lost. But
Player 1.
okay. Iron Golem's pretty weak. I wonder if I can cast... No, I can't cast heal on him. But I wonder if I can... What can I resurrect? I can get a genie and a centaur back. I might, if we lose the magi, that might be our best move. We're just gonna run in with the giantess to see if we can capture this. We have unit advantage. We have mana advantage. Okay, we're doing good. Doing good. Get the stun off. Whatever that weird thing is coming out of the ground distracted me, and I took a hit because of it. Nice! Nice!
Player 1 wins. Player 1 wins.
Cool. My plan worked. Haha, strategy. Oh, he just starts zapping the shit out of the enemy. We didn't get to show off how demigods work in combat or some more spells, but I think the core element of the game is that one-to-one fighting with the smaller units. So we'll take a peek here at some of the other faction stuff. There is a whole campaign, I believe. This isn't just skirmishes, but I figured I'd do a skirmish instead of trying to drop into a full campaign. Okay, so it shows score, mana, wins, losses, but it doesn't show you kind of like your best army builder. So yeah, each unit has its own tier. That must be... There's a locked unit there. I don't know what that is. Yeah, there's things we didn't see, like the Frost Dragon. We've got our Centaurs. Let's not save that. And then, can we change faction? Yeah, Fire has kind of the same. You still have the Centaurs, the Unicorns, the Genie, the Giantess, the Fire Giants. Demigod Blaze. So the light and the dark have roughly the same unit structures, because they have the Centibera, the Dark Unicorns, the Djinn, Spirit Armor, Iron Golems, Archdemons instead of dragons. Then we go over to the Dark Order. Yeah, kind of the same thing. Chaos Demons, Cyclopses, Djinn. So there's some unique units between them, but some things that are the same. But they're still cool. They're still really neat. And the way it gives you customization on your units is pretty interesting too. But that has been Wrath Unleashed. I find this game to be fun. I think if you have another person that you're really interested in playing with, you can do some fun stuff. It supports up to 4 people fighting, and if you do a war game, you only need 2 controllers because it's a 1v1 fight. So you could do some pretty fun stuff with this local couch co-op if you want just a different experience. I think making a drinking game out of it would be pretty cool. So, highly recommend. It is a sleeper hit, I feel, and something that I would love experimented on as an indie game moving forward. So, you never know. As for what I've been doing, I may be putting out a different video as to where I've been and where my plans are for content. But I'm just going to try to create content I feel is fun. I'm not going to try to push the algorithm anymore, so just keep an eye out for whatever I feel like recording and playing, especially a lot of PlayStation 2 games moving forward since I've been kind of investing in that. So, this has been Water Elemental. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.